But first, let's get more on the situation in Ukraine, where Kyiv says they've destroyed a third ballistic missile attack on the city this month. Joining me now is the Ukrainian Member of Parliament, Kira Rudik. Kira Rudik, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it this morning. I wanted to start off with a post that President Zelensky put on X last night, in which he praised British support for the war effort in Ukraine, but he also said, unfortunately, the situation has slowed down recently. What do you think he meant by that?
Hello, Anna, and thank you so much for having me. Well, during the course of this war, we learned that sometimes it could be up to 6 months between the political promise that we receive and the time when the weapons actually reach Ukrainian soldier. So this is why we are working with all our allies on making sure that the logistics and all the bureaucratic items are solved ASAP. Because for us here, every day literally matters and means that someone can lose their lives. For example, this night, there was another attack on Kyiv. We almost didn't sleep because we spent the whole night in the bomb shelter. And you know what you're thinking about when you're sitting in the bomb shelter is just hope that our air defense systems have enough of the supplies and ammunition to take down the Russian attack. And we really appreciative for everything that our allies are doing for us. But we also know that we still have a lack of air defense systems and ammunition for that, to feel safe, to be able to know that when we go to bed in the evening, we will be able to wake up in the morning.
And in the meantime, it's thought that British tanks are being used as part of Ukraine's push into Russia. However, the approval of long-range missiles has not been given and needs, I think, the consensus of other allies as well. The fear has been, we're told, it's one of escalation. Is that something that you understand?
No. This is not something that we can understand. Since the day one, there has been always threats of the escalation. And I would say escalation, because Russia did not stop at anything, right? They committed all kinds of the war crimes. They have done all the terrible things here. And what else they can do? What else the escalation means? We are saying that we need the long-range missiles to be able to take down Russian planes and the military objects so that they cannot attack us. And I think it's very simple and very fair. And we have been very open about our goals and strategies and the reasons we need the long-range missiles for. Because it's very hard to take down the ballistic missile in the air, but it's much easier to reach it when it's just a missile in the plane or on the boat. And we have been very open with our allies about the operations that we have and about the targets that we may have. So this is why I think it's rather the delays that are happening before the decision is made. And unfortunately, we have already seen this. These delays are really hurtful for us. Just remember how long it took for the world to give us the tanks, then the Patriot missile systems, then the fighter jets. If we have had it much faster, much earlier in the war, then the situation right now would obviously be different. So we are calling for the allies to regroup, to maybe reconsider it once again and make these decisions, because we know that we will use these long-range missiles for good. You have seen how brilliant were our military commandment with the limited resources that we have right now. So we are saying, please give us just enough, just give us what we are asking so we can execute on the plans that we have. And these plans are not to attack, but rather to make sure that we are able to defend ourselves.
In the meantime, I also want to ask you about what the International Atomic Energy Agency said yesterday. They're concerned about safety at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which is occupied by Russia at the moment. They talked about a drone strike on the road outside it. How concerned are you by that?
The Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant has been a critical issue since the day of occupation, because we know that Russia is absolutely responsible, and we are basically one bad mistake away from another Chernobyl or another tragedy. And this is why we were calling for international community to pressure Russia to let the international forces on the nuclear plant, because this nuclear plant is the largest one in the whole Europe. And the tragedy can be really devastating, not only for ourselves, but for all our neighbors. Basically, radiation does not care if you're a NATO country or not, and which passport are you holding. It can be like a real devastation for the whole Europe. And Russia, of course, denied to have the international forces and, of course, the MAGATE as well, there to check what's happening and to control it. But it remains an issue, but it has been like that for 2 years straight.
Well, Kira Rudik, Ukrainian MP, we really appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you.